This episode of Gamerheads is brought to you by Magic Mind, the healthy energy drink that will help you take your creativity to a new level.
Hi, I'm Celia Schilling from Yacht Club Games.
Hey, this is James from Mega Cat Studios.
Hey, this is Matt, aka Stormageddon from Reignite, Screen Snark, and the Fun and Games podcast.
This is Stephanie from the Boss Rush podcast and the Boss Rush Network.
Hey, this is Mark and Keon from Bonte Avond.
Hey, this is Sebastian with the ProNerdReport.com and the Single Player Experience podcast.
Hi, this is Chris.
Mike.
And Garrett from Daylight Basement Studio.
Hey, this is Baron J67 from Level 1 Gaming.
Hey, this is Todd Mitchell from Code Right Play.
Salutations. This is Mike Carroll from Stroll Art.
Hey, this is Jeff Moonen from Fun and Games Podcast.
Hey, this is Patrick from the Backlog Odyssey.
Hey, this is Rune from Runic Codes.
Hi, this is Andrew from Spalato Bros.
Hi everyone, Jill Grote here from the Indie Informer.
Hey, this is Brimstone, and you're listening to Roger Reichart on the Gamerheads Podcast.
And welcome to another episode of the Gamerheads Podcast. My name is Roger. Along with me are my good friends and co-host. We have the CEO and president that doesn't suck, Phil. Welcome to the show.
Was there a rumor that I sucked?
Was there anyone else on the show that sucks?
No, I'm just saying he's a CEO that isn't terrible. That doesn't stink.
CEOs are terrible.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
I gotcha.
So welcome to the show, Phil.
Thanks. I'm doing math.
Okay. And then we also have two-time Grammy winner for his work in ASMR, Mike. Welcome to the show.
I'm doing math.
Okay. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to our patrons, Jill, Matt, and Sarah. Thank you so much for supporting the Gamerheads Podcast. You, listener, can support us as well for as low as $3 a month. You can support the Gamerheads Podcast. You can go to our patreon.com/gamerheads where you can support us there. We have different tiers, and we'd love to have you support us, and then we'd read your name on the show just like we read our other supporters. So, again, go to patreon.com/gamerheads, and I'll put a link in the show notes as well. So, guys, before we get into...
live?
Yeah, we're live. Well, not live.
Okay. We're not twitching, if that's what you're asking.
We're not twitching, yeah. We're not twitching.
Typically twitching, guys. You guys know this.
Well, that's true. That's a good point.
I'm like a dead frog with an electrode hooked up.
Yeah, that's right.
Continuously twitching.
You brought it back. That's good.
So I thought we could have a little, icebreaker every week, because we used to do that a long time ago, and I'm going to bring it back. So this week, I'm going to ask you guys a question, and I want to know the answer to this question. Inquiring minds want to know. I want to know. What's a game that everyone loves that you just can't get into? And Mike, I'm going to start with you. What's a game that everybody loves, but you just, for whatever reason, you just can't get into this game?
Yeah, The Last of Us sucks.
Oh, wow.
I'll say it. I don't care.
Okay, all right.
Everyone's like, "Oh, The Last of Us, it's so perfect. It's the greatest ever. Oh, it's a work of art." This game is mediocre at best.
I think the kids call that mid these days.
All right, I'll call it mid. Whatever. That's fine. Mid. Sure, this game is mid. I don't know. It's just a regular game. It has a story. I mean, like, there's just a lot of cutscenes in it. The combat is the same as tons of other games that I played. We gotta make sure we walk around stealth-like before the bad guys can hear us and attack us. Okay, I hope I don't have to shoot them in the head to kill them. Oh, I do. And then
do you not like stealth games? I'm sorry. Is it you or Phil? Phil, you don't like stealth games, right?
It's not that I dislike them. It's just I don't have the patience for them.
Yeah, I don't mind. Okay. I mean, it's not. And Last of Us isn't really a stealth. I mean, there are stealth elements to it, but it's like you're either doing a stealth area, or you're doing a combat area, or you're listening to them drone on and on, or you're listening to Ellie swear every 8 seconds. Or not that.
My name's Phil.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, the swearing that didn't really change anything for me. But I'm just like, here's the thing. I also played the game when it came out on PS4. So
Okay.
this was after everybody was hyping it up, and I'm like, all right, I'm fine. I'm gonna play it. I get to see what all the hullabaloo is about. And I'm like, this is just a regular game. I've played arcade games that were more enjoyable than this.
Yeah. Did you watch the show though?
If you put The Last of Us in front of me, and then you next to it, you put a Crazy Taxi cab, the whole cabinet next to me,
for sure.
I'm taking Crazy Taxi all day long.
Well, me too.
Well,
I mean, yeah.
What I'm saying,
I'm just saying.
I think like it's
saying I
it
wouldn't play
it reeked. And I didn't even play the second one because I was so underwhelmed by the first one. It reeked of pretentiousness.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it almost is like the writers were like, oh, we're better than you, we're smarter than you. Here's our writing, and then people are like, when I saw the giraffe, it was the greatest thing in the world. I'm like, it's a giraffe. I'm like, can I kill it? No, it's just a cutscene. All right, let's move on. And I'm sorry, but like I said, here's the thing: Last of Us, it's not a bad game. It's a good game. No, don't get me wrong on that. It's just, to me, nowhere near the hype that was, or that people are saying, the accolades that people are saying. Nowhere near it. It is just a regular game. I watched the show. Yeah, I watched the whole the series of the show. Needed more clickers.
Did you like it?
Needed more clickers, but it wasn't that bad. It was a good show. Well put together, well acted. It's nice finally seeing Mr. Fantastic and something outside of the Fantastic Four. So Pedro Pascal is going to be Mr. Fantastic.
Is he?
Yeah.
Was that confirmed?
Yeah.
That was confirmed?
Yeah.
It was?
Yeah. Pedro Pascal is Mr. Fantastic. Johnny Storm is, I forgot his name, but he was in the most recent season.
Chris Evans?
No, the most recent season of Stranger Things. He was in somebody from Stranger Things, if you watch that.
Oh, okay.
And I forgot who the other two were. But anyways, I thought the Last of Us show was good. I thought it was a good show. But the game, nope, can't get into it. I played it, I tried it, I thought it was okay. I'm like, that's all I need to play. There's better games out there.
I feel like I've asked you this question before, and maybe I haven't, but maybe I have. Who knows? Not me. If you would have played it before you read all the hype about it, do you feel as though you'd have felt different about it?
I would have felt a little bit better, but I never would have gone like, this is the greatest game ever made. There's never been anything like that. I never would have been as like psycho as some people were.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Send all your hate mail to Twitter, Pez Guy Mike.
Yeah. Phil, what about you? What's a game that you just couldn't get into, everybody just raves about?
I don't have any kind of a long tirade worked up in my brain because I don't really have a brain. Let's see. Name an RPG.
Octopath Traveler.
I haven't played it.
The original
Final Fantasy.
I played through a handful of them and they pretty much bored me to tears.
Final Fantasy 7?
Played through it completely, yet bored me to tears.
The original Dragon Warrior.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I played through that. I was like 9 and I didn't know any better, so I enjoyed it.
That's a great excuse. All right, I'll accept that.
Turn-based RPGs bore the ever-loving hell out of me. Any kind of a turn-based RPG. What?
Anyone in particular, or just as a general?
Yes,
just in general. Yeah, is this a blanket?
In general, like there is so much fluff just to get to the storyline that it's just a grind fest with the most tedious and monotonous combat known to man. Sure, you got to think of your counters and all that kind of stuff, but half the time you don't even have to. You can just like mash through things until you get to a boss battle. It is a waste of time for like 2 hours worth of story.
Gotcha. So it's like one of those games you could put your controller down and they get one of those drinky birds. Just keep pressing A.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Did you have? Did you say that, Mike? Did you ever play? Did you ever play World of Warcraft?
No.
Did you ever play World of Warcraft? No, because that game was a game that you just hit a button and your character would just constantly attack you. Just sit there and watch them attack, right? Like, I don't know why I played so many hours of World of Warcraft or any of those types of games, but
were you playing with friends online?
Yeah, well, that's why. Yeah, that's why.
Anything you can do with friends is always better.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What if they had an RPG they could play online with your friends? Would you play that?
I believe they've got a shitload of those at this point.
I think so. Yeah, that's funny because. No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, and then I'll give you my second runner-up.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say I would say that RPGs are my favorite genre, so it's really funny that that's your least favorite genre. But to each their own, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's your runner-up then?
Any of the last 4 Legends of Zelda that have come out.
Oh my god!
Including Link's Awakening?
Yeah,
no, that's a remix / remaster.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
More modern Zeldas.
Yeah. Yep.
Gotcha.
So you didn't like
No
Breath of the Wild. You didn't like
No
Tears of the Kingdom.
Haven't played it. Won't play it.
You didn't like
No
Skyward Sword. You didn't like
Twilight Princess. No.
You didn't like What about what's the Majora's Mask? Wind Waker? Do you like Wind Waker?
Wind Waker is the greatest Zelda game ever made. I will not say a bad thing about Wind Waker.
Okay. Well, that wasn't the last 4, so I'll give you that, right?
Like I said, the last 4.
Did you like Darksiders?
Which one?
The first
3
one?
is super dope. I didn't hate the first one.
Did you ever play Darksiders, Roger?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good.
It's a Zelda
I didn't
game.
play
I don't care what you say. That's a Zelda game to me.
It's an action RPG. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't...
I didn't play Genesis, but...
My problem with... I shouldn't even say... Yeah, well, part of my problem, and it's not that I'm above the look of the game or the style of the game, but they have just such this not even generic feel to it, but just such a childish feel to it. And it's difficult for me to, and I can't say to not take a childish looking game serious because I play a lot of childish looking games and I take them pretty serious. But for me to put it up on this like higher pedestal than it's actually up there, like it doesn't, I can't. And I think that the main reason, like, because I even kind of fell off the Zelda franchise at Majora's Mask because it drove me insane because I hated the repetitiveness of the having to reset and reboot. And then I got brought back in by Wind Waker because of how unique and stylistic that was. Like, if you want to do it something that's super stylized and come at me that way, yeah, I'll play through your action RPG.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, what was the first one on the Switch?
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
I hated the lack of direction in it. Not that I need a ton of direction, but I hated it because I just did nothing more than waste time. I hated the breakable weapons. And I'll follow that up by saying that I play a lot of sandbox games with breakable weapons, including one of the games that I'm going to talk heavily about this week has breakable weapons in it, and it's a sandbox game. But I find it to be much more exciting than The Legend of Zelda.
Did you like the very first Legend of Zelda game?
Yeah, dude.
That didn't have any directions. You just had to figure that all on your own.
9 years old, didn't know better.
Oh, okay.
And it's not
the original.
It was the original, and also it's stuck to such a tried and true formula where it hasn't changed that much up, including the enemies, including the bosses, including the main boss. It's just, I don't know. I'm completely over the Legend of Zelda franchise.
Did you like Legend of Zelda 2? I'm curious because that was so different than the first one.
I played all the way through the Legend of Zelda 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
I played through.
I did too. I didn't like it.
I liked it or not because it was 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 35 years ago.
There's nothing wrong with that. I could see Zelda fatigue setting in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yet I'm super excited for the show to come out in 2 weeks. I can't explain me.
Yeah. That's not repetitive and contrived.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I can't explain me. I feel the way that I feel.
Hey.
Well, I mean, that kind of falls in the same category. You just said you didn't like RPGs, and I feel like Legend of Zelda kind of falls into that category too. I mean, I know it's more action than RPG, but there's elements of RPG in it, so I can kind of see it.
And I like a lot of action RPGs. Like I put 300, 250 hours into Skyrim. Like, and that's an action RPG, but it's, I just think that there's a little bit more innovation that goes on with that style of a game than there is with Zelda. I mean, you've been essentially getting the exact same gear for the last 35, 40 years, fighting the exact same bosses, especially the main boss, all of the side characters. Like you're just putting a new coat of skin on it. And you added the open world element, which at first I was super enthralled by, but then all of a sudden it was just like, all right, this breakable weapon stuff is garbage because like you burn through those weapons so quick too. Mm-hmm. And I think that was my problem. If the weapons would have been a little bit more durable, and I don't necessarily remember if you could customize them and like upgrade them. Could you or no?
Not so much in the first one, but in the second one you can.
See, and that's kind of like also where that downfall is too. Like if I'm gonna have breakable weapons, at least let me like modify them so that way I can add different elements to them and like make them more durable and give them other characteristics.
Yeah, in the second one you can do that more with because of the what's that hand? What is that? The ultra hand? Yeah, with the ultra hand. But the first one I didn't think you really could, right? I don't remember. The second one was cool because you could put like bat eyes in the arrow and it would like heat sinking. It was cool. Or like you could take
give it different
like a
features
sword
and stuff, yeah.
and give it different features. You could put like a fire thing on your sword or like, you know.
See, that makes a little bit more sense to me, but I still won't play it because I'm burnt out on Zelda.
Yeah.
I get it. Well, thanks for sharing. For me, this might, I don't know, maybe nobody likes this game. Maybe I'm wrong, but I tried. I think there's people that like this game. I don't know if it's considered like a great game, but I tried to get into this game and I just couldn't. Starfield, does that count? Like I can't get into that game.
That's
Does that count? That doesn't count. Nobody likes it.
Can't get into Starfield.
Okay. What about No Man's Sky? Do people like that game?
Same thing as Starfield.
God, I can't get into that game either. Okay, all right. Here's one.
You're gonna name the one that Bethesda just put out as well?
Here's one.
I don't like games with star in the title.
Yeah, anything with star. No, here's one that people do love and I couldn't get into. Okay, like you guys are gonna not like me for this, but Resident Evil 4. I can't get into that game.
Okay, so before I hold on a second,
I'll meet you there, Mike.
Okay,
I've got we both have his address. I can meet you there. I'll take care of this problem.
Deep breaths.
This is why I went with the Starfield game.
Roger.
No Man's Sky, because I knew I was going to get this talking to about this game. I knew you guys were going to have this. Yeah.
Quick question.
Yeah. This is not an intervention.
How far did you get into Resident Evil 4?
Yeah.
Title menu.
I got to the village.
So you didn't even make it to the title screen. You were in the prologue.
Wait, there's a prologue to this game?
Well,
yeah, dude, you didn't make it to the title screen.
You didn't make it. So define village.
So you're walking, and then you see these villagers.
All right, so you didn't even make it to the best line in the game yet.
I made it to the village, Mike. I made it to the village, and there was people that were attacking, and I was like, I can't.
All you have to do is survive for 8 minutes. I can't get into this.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. That doesn't sound fun. Okay. Here's another one. Can I give you a different one?
No. You're not backing out of this.
No.
Yeah, you can't play 10 minutes worth of a game and decide that everybody else loves it and you don't when you didn't even give it a fair shake.
No,
No, you didn't try.
This was the thing. Like, did you give Legend of Zelda a try? Did you give
Tears
of the Kingdom a try?
I put 30 hours into the last Legend of Zelda. 30.
Okay, fair.
I'll be quiet.
That's not 3. That's 30.
I understand
I
where
put
Roger
3
is
minutes.
coming from.
That's what I'm saying.
Here's the thing. I can understand what Roger is saying because
thank you.
There was a point when I played.
It's in English?
No, it's in Spanish.
No, I mean what Roger was saying.
Oh, yeah.
I can understand him.
Because he's in English. Wow, that was too smart. That humor was way too smart for me.
It can't all taste like penguins, Mike.
It all tastes like penguins to me.
Yeah.
I could see what Roger is saying because that part, if you're not really familiar with like the controls or anything like that, it can get very frustrating. And if you die like
and you know what, I played it on the Wii. I played it on the Wii.
So maybe that's part of your fucking problem. Sorry. That came out quick.
Yeah, the aiming on the Wii is not.
Yeah.
It's like drunkenly peeing.
Yeah. I almost had the same thing happen to me with Resident Evil 7. Did you play that one, Phil?
7 was Louisiana, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that game. That game was awesome.
I got to the point at the very beginning where you're in the living room.
Ooh.
Where you're in the living room and you have to like sneak around Jack. And he kept catching me no matter what I did. And it got to a point where I'm like, you know what? I am done with this game. This is so unfair. I'm stopping. And I walked away for an hour and then I came back and I kept going. And I'm glad I kept going because the game was awesome. But it was a very, very difficult part because all you had to do was find you once and that's it, which I hate that kind of stealth. So I can see where you're coming from, Roger. But I'm telling you, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Okay. They just came out the remake, right? Didn't they just come out the remake for Resident Evil 4?
Yeah, April.
Yeah, okay.
Last April, buddy.
Should I play that?
Yeah.
Should I give it a shot?
I think you even own it.
No.
Do I?
Yeah. I have it.
I don't think
I have
so.
it physical.
Oh yeah, so I don't mind that.
You know what you should do though to get yourself familiar with the character of Leon? Play Resident Evil 2. It's on Game Pass.
Oh, see, here's the thing. Like, I know you guys say like, oh, because blah blah blah. I liked Resident Evil 1. When it first came out, I loved that game. I beat that game. And Resident Evil 2, I played that one. I really liked it. I didn't really like Resident Evil 3.
Oh, so
and then Resident Evil 4, I was like, eh.
All right. So if you played Resident Evil, to me, honestly, it's a tough one. Resident Evil 4 and 5. I know a lot of people don't like Resident Evil 5, but I love Resident Evil 5.
Which one was 5?
That's the co-op with Chris and Sheva.
Yeah, that game was awesome too.
I loved Resident Evil 5.
6 was the only weak spot in the series, in my opinion. 3 is not that great, but 6 was the drizzling shits.
Okay. Well, and maybe. I mean, I just remember when it came out on the Wii, I went and bought it because everybody was saying how great it was, and I played it. I might actually still own it.
It was on the PlayStation and the Xbox.
Yeah, I didn't have.
It was originally a GameCube exclusive.
Or the GameCube. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. But I got it on the Wii for some reason. Did it come out on the GameCube and Wii at the same time, or was it just came on GameCube and then it came on the Wii later?
GameCube, PS2. Then
it didn't come out on the Wii.
It did.
It did. It was just years later.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, because they added the controls.
I still might own it.
Well, don't play it on
that, Roger. Jesus, man.
Just man, come on.
I'm gonna play the new one.
Do yourself a favor, just throw your Wii in the garbage can and your life will be better. You'll feel much more
placed.
Hey,
no. What? No.
With like a hatchet? Yeah, I'm all in.
Oh my gosh.
I have a barbed wire machete. I can take care of that Wii problem for you.
Oh my god. Hey listeners, tell me if this sounds familiar to you. To get me going, I start with a large mug of coffee every day. But by mid-afternoon, I start feeling sluggish. So guess what I do? I go to the coffee shop and buy another mug of coffee to get me through the afternoon. The problem is the caffeine would keep me up at night and I'd be super tired the following day, so the same thing would happen again. It becomes a vicious cycle and I wasn't getting much sleep. I was losing productivity and creativity, and I knew this wasn't healthy. Then I discovered Magic Mind, a healthy energy drink that helped me break this vicious cycle. I found this little energy shot greatly improved my mornings. I take it once in the morning and I feel energized throughout the whole entire day. And the best part is, I don't have that crash in the afternoon. In fact, I feel energized throughout the day. My days are long and require a lot of focus and creativity, from all-day meetings and creating learnings at my day job as an instructional designer, to writing reviews and producing Gamerheads Podcast. And at the end of the day, I felt burnt out and lacked creativity and focus. But once I started taking Magic Mind, I felt a change. I felt my creative juices flowing again, allowing me to think differently about the learnings that I'm building and develop fun and clever solutions. I can focus in meetings, especially in the afternoon meetings where I struggled the most. And when I get home, I feel energized and excited to put my creative talents into writing and producing Gamerheads. I don't feel the burnout like I did before, and I'm getting plenty of rest at night because I'm not taking a lot of caffeine in the afternoon. I feel better in the mornings, and I'm happier throughout the day, and this is the biggest reason why I love Magic Mind. Now, I've tried other energy drinks before, and most of them left me with a sour taste in my mouth or gave me an upset stomach. Plus, I didn't know some of the ingredients that went into these energy drinks. But with Magic Mind, not only does it taste great, but I don't have the upset stomachs from drinking it. And it's made with all natural ingredients and sourced from the best suppliers with no added sugar. And it's nut-free and vegan too. So here's what you're going to want to do to get into the game and get your subscription of Magic Mind. You're going to click on the link I'll put in the show notes. It's magicmind.com/gamerheads with an extra S to enjoy up to 56% off your Magic Mind subscription or 20% on your one-time purchase with the code GamerheadsS. So it's Gamerheads with an extra S at the end. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Okay, well, that was our icebreaker segment. I'm so glad we did that
It was
this
an
week.
ice destroyer. That wasn't no icebreaker. That was
I'm
an
glad
ice
we did that.
obliterator.
Jeez. Next week it's going to be games that you like that everybody hates. That's what's going to be next week. So
most games. No shit. Mike and I've got this one down.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, well, let's go into Phil.
Right.
You've been doing some achievement hunting. Can you give us an update on your achievement hunting? Where are you at with your achievement hunting?
This is our man on the field, Phil. We're talking about his achievements.
Yeah, that's right.
It's very achievementy out here right now. I'm dodging all the achievements and trophies that are flying at me left and right. A bunch of children's games that are made for 6-year-olds are coming in very, very strong and hot, and I'm playing them all. As of 2 weeks ago, I was sitting at 255,371 achievements.
Whoa.
As of today, I'm up to 256,831 achievements to be up 1,460 achievements over the course of the last 2 weeks. 1,000 of those came from Bluey. The other handful came from the game that I'm currently playing that I'll talk about when we get to games that we've been playing. But yeah, I am up 1,400 achievements in the last 2 weeks, achievement points.
Wow.
And I'm about to get into, oh boy, what's the name of that show that I don't know the name of? Makes sense of that one. Paw Patrol just hit at Game Pass, and I'm going to start grinding away on some Paw Patrol because kids' games have got easy achievements for the most part.
I was gonna ask you that. Are the kids' games really easy achievements? Is that why you play those? Just to get the easy achievements?
Absolutely. They're usually like a 2 to 4 hour playthrough for 1,800 to 1,000 achievement points. Well worth it. You know what it keeps me from doing for that 2 to 4 hours? Playing MLB The Show.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just pulling up. I'm going to see if I can pull up my Xbox achievements for comparison. I don't know if I edited this. It's taking a while for it to launch. Mike, do you know your achievements? Where you're at with your achievements?
I don't know how many achievements I have. My gamer score is about 76,000. So
yeah, that's what I was going just with my gamer score, not my achievement. Sorry.
Okay. Let's see. What is mine? I think it's like.
Roger, you have 14,540.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's not that much. Boy, I'm way behind you.
Just a little bit. Mike is at 76,455.
Wow. And then, yeah. So, I mean, like, are you going to, like, is there like a goal?
256. Yes,
like,
all of the achievements.
Are you like... You get to turn those in for something? Like, what do you do with those? Do you get to turn those in for points? For like,
dude, it's called nerd cred, okay?
Okay.
And I need some nerd cred because I do enough shit that's not nerdy that I need some nerd cred. Actually, everything that I do is nerdy. Who am I trying to lie to right now?
Do you think you'll hit 300? Do you think you'll hit 300,000 before the end of the year? Probably, right? No, maybe.
Dude, I don't. Maybe. There's a chance. Like, I was super heavy into achievement hunting in my younger days, and then like, I don't know, I'd say up until about 8 years ago, I was super heavy into achievement hunting, and then I kind of gave up on it. And I think that part of the reason for that is I had GameFly, and so I could just get like super easy games through GameFly just to burn through. It did back in those days, yeah. I mean, it still does.
But does it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I just get these games that I know I could get a quick 1,000 achievement points from, kick it over to one of my buddies that was also an achievement hunter at the time. We'd both burn through it and move on to the next one. But now having to pay for not even everything, but a ton of things, it's not as easy as it used to be. But with Game Pass, like I said, you can find your Blueys and things like that are pretty easy to burn through a handful of achievement points, as well as a lot of like the lot of shorter indie games are easy to get a bunch of achievement points on too.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, I hope you hit the 300,000 mark this year because we'll have a big celebration.
Okay.
Maybe it'll be at the same time we have our 300 episode of Gamerheads.
When's that?
I don't really know. Actually,
what episode are we on right now?
I don't know. We're over 250. I know that. I think we're more than that, honestly. I think there's some episodes that are missing in that count somewhere, because we've been doing this since 2016. So I don't know. It feels like we should have more, but I think we're at like 250. So cool. Well, then the other thing I wanted to talk about this week was, since we missed last week, I want to talk about the games that are coming out for March, or that are out for March right now, since we're in the middle of March. So I sent you guys a list of all the games that are coming out for March, and I just like to talk.
Sorry.
What? Do you want to go through that, Mike? Do you want to talk about like your top 2 or 3 games that's coming up for the next month that you're most excited for?
So, not a whole lot. Like, not that I don't want to talk about it. It's just not a whole lot of games in March. So, the new Contra game looks fun. I played the demo and I enjoyed the demo. You know, that looks like it's worth picking up, but that's one of those things I can wait on. The other games that I'm looking forward to with trepidation. I'm like, I don't know, this might not be good. So I might have to, thank you. I might have to wait and see what happens. Well, obviously MLB The Show, it's on Game Pass. Can't go wrong with that. But then the other 2 games that I'm like, I'm interested, but I don't know how good they're going to be is that's going to be South Park Snow Day.
Yeah.
And I still don't know what that whole thing is about.
Yeah, me either.
It's like one of those games where like you have to play with friends because that's going to be tough.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it multiplayer?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. All right. Because I just figured it was like, I didn't know for sure, but I figured it was just like the last 2 South Parks, The Fractured Butthole and Stick of Truth.
It's not an RPG, so.
See, those are RPGs that I actually enjoyed. Ha! Look at that. I just proved myself wrong. I'm a hypocrite.
There you go.
And then the other one is Pepper Grinder.
Yeah.
The origin story of Tony Stark and Pepper Potts.
Pepper Grinder. Pepper barely knew her. That one looks fun. I always like, it's I don't know if it's a Metroidvania or not, but I always love a good,
I think it is,
stylish 2D action platform exploration, pixel graphic type game. I love Drill Dozer. If you never played Drill Dozer on the Game Boy Advance, that was a great game.
That's good. That was a good game.
But again, I don't know. These games, they could be terrible. So honestly, nothing I'm really like, yeah, absolutely, I'm getting this. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's April. You'll have to wait till next month. Never mind. Sorry.
Damn it, that's a hell of a cliffhanger. That's like a 4-week cliffhanger.
Kidding. Wow.
I can mention because it was just announced last week.
Yeah, just mention it. What's the game?
The new Ninja Turtles game.
Oh, yeah.
I played it.
Is that really coming out in April?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it's based on, and I'm going to get some more.
Is it going to have April O'Neil in it? Is it going to have April O'Neil in it?
Because it's April? No.
I refrained from making a terrible joke as soon as April Ninja Turtles coming out happened, and I just had to back away from the mic.
Mm-hmm.
I backed away.
Good.
But on that one, I'm looking forward to it because it's it's like a Dave and Buster's game. It's like it's an arcade game, and it's based on, and I'm going to get some hate for this, in my opinion, the best version of the Turtles cartoon.
Whoa! I just had to do it.
That's all right.
What? Sorry. What is it? What's it based on? Sorry.
The 2012 series.
That's a good series. Why would you get hate for that? That's a really good series.
Because fans of the 80s series won't accept any other iteration of the Turtles. Like, not all fans, like some fans, but like some people are like, no, the 80s Turtles are the best. Go back and watch the 80s Turtles. I'm sorry. Like, when like Raphael is talking and all of a sudden his bandana changes to blue in the middle of him talking.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like,
do you not remember hypercolor shirts? It was the same concept as a hypercolor shirt.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's funny that you say that because like I still do like the 80s Turtles for sure. Like that's how I got introduced. But the 2012 superior.
2012 is, in my opinion, is
good.
The best version of the Turtles.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the stories are good. The
stories are great. The references are great.
The voice acting is great.
They like the entire. Did you make it through the 3rd season when they were in the? At the cabin? Oh my gosh! Like the first half of that 3rd season, you told me. Every episode was an homage to a different horror movie.
Yeah, I know. I only watched like the first season or first 2 seasons because it was on like Netflix or something and they got taken off, and I couldn't. I need to get. But it's hard to find.
You can get.
It's hard to find.
Stream it.
I feel like I found it pretty recently because I was gonna start watching it.
It's on Paramount. That's why it's on Paramount Plus. I don't either.
But do you have Vudu? Because you can get it on the entire series on Vudu for like $25.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna have to check it out because like my kids loved it too. Like we were watching it together, and they were like, "This is really good, Dad." And then they're like, "Can we watch the movies? Not like the '80s, '90s movies. I mean the Michael Bay movies."
Oh God, I hope you didn't, because that's like a version of child abuse if you let them watch that.
Well, I think I told you this story once. Like they wanted to watch it, and it was on. Listen, hold on. It was on Netflix, and there was only 2. And they said, why wasn't there a third one, Dad? And I said, because they're bad. They're terrible.
Yep.
And they're like, well, then my kids are young. See, it's the same thing you were saying, Phil. I was 9. I didn't know what good was, right? My kids are like, but this is great. And I'm like, it's not. It's not. This is terrible. Go back to watching 2012 Turtle cartoons, please.
I'll say this, though. The second Turtles movie, I don't know what it was called, Out of Their Shell or something. No, that's the tour. The second Turtles movie, the second Michael Bay Turtles movie, they did a great job with Bebop and Rocksteady.
Okay.
I thought they did.
I don't know.
They did a good job
I
with
couldn't
Bebop
watch
and
it. I
Rocksteady.
couldn't watch it. I think wasn't Stephen Amell was Casey Jones in those movies, wasn't he? I think so.
Whoever was the DC character, if that's Arrow
Yeah,
or something.
Green Arrow. Yeah, Stephen Amell.
Yeah, he was Casey Jones.
What was that noise?
That was my Alexa somehow decided that Stephen Amell means Alexa for some reason.
I thought my headset was dying, and yet it's plugged in. I'm so confused.
I just
that's
threw
cool.
a tangent. March games. I'm done with
March games. Yeah, March. Okay, Phil. March games. Any March games that you're most excited for?
Nope, there's nothing coming out in March that looks at all like anything I'm going to invest
Okay.
200 hours into. No, in all seriousness, though.
Really, the baseball game that's coming out?
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
2 games that are coming out on different systems than I have played them on that I feel as though everybody should check out because they are well worth a play and a look at are As Dusk Falls, which is some incredible storytelling, animation, and voice acting. And also the dumbest, most awesome golf game ever created in the history of mankind.
Yes.
What the Golf. If you have not played What the Golf,
so good.
buy it.
Yeah.
Now.
That game is really good. Have you played it recently?
I feel like I played it like a month ago.
Because maybe I messaged you. They had like a Christmas thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Yeah, they have different events going on. It's cool.
Yeah, I love that game. But games that I am actually interested in, besides those 2 which I've already played, are obviously MLB The Show. I'm not going to go into detail because I like heroin. Open Roads is coming out, and I believe it's coming to Game Pass as well, which is going to get hopefully a good chunk of my time. I'm also semi-intrigued by the new Alone in the Dark, having seen absolutely nothing on it. But I think I've played every iteration of Alone in the Dark that's come out so far, including the really shitty like Xbox 360 one. I played all the way through that one, even though it was broken as hell, but still managed to like it. And Mike says good things about the Tony Stark and Pepper Pot Stadium Simulator, so I may have to check that out as well.
Yeah. For me, I would say that I'm not going to buy it right away. And I don't know if I will buy it, but the WWE 2K24, I always want to get the new one because I'm like, oh, wow, they have like this and this has a new story. But I will say this. I don't know if you watched any of the trailers for that game. Like,
did you see the one that's in first person?
Yeah, that was cool. No,
that
one
was
cool.
So cool.
Yeah, that was a good commercial.
That was a really, really good commercial. But for the most part, like the character renditions didn't look all that great, I didn't think. I don't know. I'm always leery because we had that one year that was really bad with the WWE.
That's like remember? 2K12 to current.
Well, no, maybe you're right.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right. So I don't know. I always want to get the new one, but then I'm like, why? Like, it's the same thing with the show.
I will
it's the same
fight
thing
you.
with like. No, I was about to say. It's the same thing that we have complaints of every game that they do this. Like, what's something brand new that they added to it that made it so much like, oh, I have to go buy this game, right? Like
casket matches.
Yeah, okay.
Playing through 40 years of WrestleMania highlights.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Maybe I don't play wrestling games the way other people do. I never play the Road to WrestleMania or any of like the character like driven story ones like play as, Christian or play as blah blah. I'm sorry, I don't though. I play as my created character. I want to see my created character move up and get the titles. Why would I want to play somebody else? I want to play my own character. I want to play me.
Roger wants to play with himself, confirmed.
So anyway, Unicorn Overlord. I'm super excited. Like Phil, you won't like this game, but I'm excited about this game.
It's been getting good reviews. It's been getting real good reviews.
What's a Unicorn Overlord?
Games? It's an Atlas game?
It's a strategy. Yeah, it's a strategy RPG. So.
I did like Final Fantasy Tactics, the original one. Take that.
Okay, well, maybe you would like this. Maybe you would like this. I don't know.
I doubt it. I was a different person then.
I was young and needed the money.
Yeah, I was 9 years old.
When Tactics came out, sweet Jesus, Roger, how old do you think I am?
I don't know. Let's see. I kind of want. I'm never gonna play Rise of the Ronin, but I hope that game does well. Open Roads, I'm excited for. I'm actually kind of I'm not gonna say kind of, because I'm not gonna qualify it this way. I'm gonna say I am looking forward to it. The Princess Peach game. I'm looking forward to that game.
Demo.
What the hell's a Princess Peach game?
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
There's a demo out
Showtime
right now. Yeah, it's a Princess
Peach Showtime. So she wears different. So like this villain attacks. They're putting on this play. This villain attacks. She needs to save the show. She takes on different like costumes, and the costume gives her different abilities, and she can fight these villains. Yeah, okay, Phil, not probably a game for you. All right,
I didn't say a word, man.
Just looked like you were falling asleep there.
I was leaning in, listening intently. That's what you saw.
That's what it
was. The closer to the microphone I get, the better I can hear.
That's not how that works. I don't think so.
What style of game is it? I'm not trying to be a dick. What style of game is it?
It's like
action.
A beat 'em up, right? Yeah,
it's almost like a beat 'em up. It's
it's like an action.
I don't know.
Game.
Download the demo, Phil, and get back to us. That's your assignment.
Oh my god, I hate you guys. Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it.
But no, I mean, I think it looks cute, but also like, my youngest thinks this game looks amazing. So it's going to be a great game for me and her to bond with and play. She loves here's the thing. I'm not going to talk about that. Well, no, I'll talk about it now because it's not really a game that I'm playing, but I played some Mario Kart with her the other night. And she's 4. Now, granted, I put on the automatic acceleration and don't fall off the edges on Mario Kart, but she came in 4th place. I was really impressed. And then she was playing Super Mario. We went to Target and they had a demo of the Switch and she wanted to play. I'm like, fine, whatever. And she was playing Super Mario Brothers Wonder and she's jumping on I was like, what is this? I didn't know you could actually play platformers, but she was like jumping and landing on the Goombas and she grabbed the Wonder Seed, and I was really quite impressed that she actually much better than when I was 4. Well, there was no platformers when I was 4, so who knows? Maybe I was really good at platformers when I was not 4 when Pitfall came out after I was 4.
You think so?
Pitfall was 81, wasn't
it? Yeah, I was born in 76. So I was
sorry,
like 5.
You were 5.
I was 5. I think those are the games that I'm most looking forward to next month. Yeah. So, all right. Well, then we can move into games that we're currently playing. And Phil, I guess I'll start with you. What games are you playing right now?
A lot of Dead Island 2.
Really?
Oh, how is it?
That game was at PAX West, and I didn't try it, but how is it?
Well, Roger, it would scare the hell out of you because there's zombies in it.
Yeah, sure.
Sometimes they try to bite you. I love Dead Island. I like the first Dead Island quite a bit. I like the second one even better. Again, it's a game with breakable weapons that you can modify, and you can also repair them. So, like, it's okay because you can repair your broken weapon. So if you've got a good weapon and it breaks, you can just go up to a workbench and fix it. All right, let's get back on track here, man. So it is set in beautiful, sunny, scenic Los Angeles and the surrounding communities. The zombies have infected. You were attempting to escape on a plane. Your plane got shot down and or crashed, and now you're trying to fight your way to freedom. You get bit very early on, discover that you are immune to zombie bites, so you're trying to work your way from where I am to the CDC, so that way they can test you and potentially come up with an antidote.
Wait, is this The Last of Us?
No.
Are you playing The Last of Us?
Way more action-packed.
The same premise? Isn't that the same premise?
No. These are not fungal-infested zombies. And I'm not playing as somebody protecting Ellie.
True.
I am playing as the person that got bit.
That's true. That's okay, fair.
So,
is your character's name Ellie?
No, I don't remember what the name of my character is, because there's a handful that you can choose from. They've got different powers. Super campy dialogue, super campy storyline that's going on throughout it, which is part of what I thoroughly enjoy about it. And there's multitudes of different styles of zombies. including Titans, which are all apparently, when this all went down, the World's Strongest Man contest was happening on Venice Beach. So the Titans, and I'm not joking either, that's actually part of the plot line. So the Titans are all these just like roided up dudes. There's also like spitters and things that blow up and spiky ones and firefighters and guys in hazmat suits. And it's just good old fashioned melee fun. And you can just hack and slash your way through the streets of LA. The weird thing about it though, is but it is broken up into zones really heavily. And none of the zones are very big.
Well,
and once you get fast travel, it's easier to travel between them all. But it's kind of divided like that. There only seems to be 21 main story missions from what I can tell. And I think I'm on 17 or 18 right now.
Oh, wow.
But I'm also grinding away on a lot of the side missions just because it's kind of a person that I am. Because, again, sandbox game, that's what I do. I love sandbox games. The gore, and it's pretty well done, which always gets me to giggle. Like, there's finishing moves because when you get attacked, you can counter. I'm using hand gestures for those of you that can't see me, meaning everybody that's listening to this. But you can counter and then like hit him with your melee weapon. And they do like different animations for him. Like if you've got an axe, you'll whack him in the legs to like drop one leg off, and then you'll lop off their head.
Oh.
If you've got like claws, you'll punch them once in the stomach and then punch a hole right through their head. So a lot of like counter animations are a lot of fun. And again, just stupid, silly, goofy storytelling, which makes me chuckle. A lot of items everywhere. One of my complaints is that there's not a lot of room in my inventory, which is funny for me to say because I just complained about breaking weapons. But the weapons don't break frequently enough, so my inventory is almost continually full, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. So I'm always continually deconstructing things, that way I've got room for things. But then I've got pieces parts because you find blueprints throughout the course of the city that you can then like add on to your weapons and give them electricity powers or flame powers or poison or what have you, or to make them more durable and do more damage. But it's just good, silly first-person zombie slashing fun. It almost, and I was thinking about it, and I remember thinking it about the first one as well, is it kind of reminds me of Dead Rising, just not set in a shopping mall.
Yeah.
Just because it's kind of got that entire aesthetic to it, and it's in first person and a lot more realistic looking. But like the concept of it is kind of the same, like the general overall feel to it. And I love the Dead Rising game, so it's not a bad thing.
Oh, see, here's the thing. I don't like horror games, but I actually really love the Dead Rising series. I love the Dead Rising. I have those games. I love those games.
That's because they're silly, campy fun. Like those aren't horror games.
That is true. That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point.
There's intensity to it, but it's the same intensity that's in Resident Evil 4, where it's not like you're scared. It's you're surrounded trying to fight your way out of a a It's not like jump scares and horror.
But then you could do stupid things in the mall, or like, oh, look at this cool thing, right? Yeah, like for sure. Like you see a Santa
shopping cart and like just run through people.
Just flout through them. Yeah, like stupid. Are you playing this on Game Pass, or where are you playing this?
Dead Island's on Game Pass.
It is. Oh. Well, I kind of want to check it out. I mean, because if you say it's like Dead Rising, well, I kind of want to play it then, because I enjoy Dead Rising. Okay.
Yeah, the intensity level's not there. Like I said, it's super campy and it's goofy. There's a major gore factor to it, not a slight gore factor, but a major gore factor. But you meet interesting characters through the course of it. Like you run into a Hollywood actress, and like I said, weightlifters, and you'll find safe houses all over the place where you meet interesting people as well. And it's just silly, goofy fun. And I honestly, I can't put it down. I have to from time to time because Rachel's heavy into Disney Dreamlight still, and I just wish it should stop. But whatever, it gets her happy.
Is this multiplayer too, or is this just?
It is. You can play online.
Oh.
After you play through the intro, like the intro is 30 minutes long. Once the plane actually crashes and you fight your way out of the plane and make it to the first safe house, you can play online with friends, which has been threatened but never actually happened. So I think I'm further than everybody else because that's just kind of what I do. Is I put my head down and go, and I find something that I like to sink my teeth into.
Nice. I might have to give this game a shot.
Yeah, dude, it's fun.
Cool. Are you playing anything else?
Of course, that B word game that nobody can pronounce. I still mess around with and
that game is so good. The Balatro. Sure. Yeah. Did you hear the? Oh, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. What were you gonna say? No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I don't remember anymore.
Oh, okay. Did you hear that got delisted on a lot of consoles because of the gambling aspect of it?
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm not kidding.
I'm
not kidding.
Straight up, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But it still has over 500,000 downloads in 10 days, I think they released 10 days ago.
Yeah.
Or so.
Announced that.
But yet you can play like an actual poker simulator game. that is sitting there on Game Pass. You can download entire casinos. I hate the fucking world.
Listen.
I know.
I'm just telling. Don't kill the messenger. I'm just telling you what I read. All right, that's what's happening. I'm sorry.
Deep breath.
What's it been delisted on?
I heard the Switch, which makes me laugh because the Pocket Card Jockey I feel like is like more like has aspects of gambling too. Like
you can
right?
see
like the horse
boobs on the Switch, and poker is the problem.
I'm just telling you. This is what I might have been on the Xbox. It's on Steam. I know it did not get delisted on Steam. I can tell you that.
I refuse to believe this.
Well, look it up. Okay, while you look that up, I want to talk about the games. You guys look that up. I'm going to talk about the games that I'm playing.
Removed.
See? There we go. See?
Hold on. From a number of digital stores in some countries.
Oh, in some countries. Not our country.
Resulting in an overnight...
Not our country.
Right. From an overnight change from ratings 3 to 18. So it was a ratings issue, not a...
Oh. Well, but I think they moved it from 3 to 18 because of the
gambling aspects.
Yeah, the gambling aspects, yeah.
Digital stores in some countries.
Okay.
Yep.
So some countries, not every country. Don't worry, probably not our country.
Yeah,
it's
just the jerk countries. Oh, geez, Phil just left.
Phil, did you just leave? Phil just left.
He's so
that
angry
was weird.
He left.
He did. Well, I'll talk about the games I'm playing, I guess.
Well, go ahead.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, you can edit this part out, I guess.
Okay, he said his computer crashed, he thinks. So for me, I'll talk about the games I'm playing right now. I am playing. I'll start with the one that I haven't put as much time in yet. This game just came out this week. It is a relaxing game, Mike, and I love it. It's called Quilts and Cats of Calico.
Oh yeah,
so it's a game.
Came out.
Yeah, I played it at PAX West, and it was cool. Like, so I sat down with one of the developers, and they were talking me through. It was a Polish developer, and they're talking me through how this game works. And I guess I never played this. I think it's based on a board game. I'm pretty sure. And I never played it. And so they talked me through the rules, and I won. I don't know how I won because I didn't quite understand what I was doing. I'm like, I still don't get it. But then I played it. I got it. And because I liked it. It was just a relaxing game. And I went through the tutorial. I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of get this game now. And it's fun. And you can play online against other people. It just came out, like you said, this just like 2 days ago or so. Yeah, it's really fun. So I like that game. I'm gonna play more of that for sure.
What's the gameplay
I'm playing
style? Like, what is it? Is it like a card game, or is it like a board game?
Yeah, kind of. No, it's like, so you have, it's a quilt, and you have to put patches onto the quilt. And each patch, like there'll be like a piece that's like a centerpiece that has numbers on it. And the numbers
I know what
will give you
you're
different
talking
points.
about. Okay.
So like if you're able to get like, and they'll show you like you have to get different patterns. So it might be like A, B, B, C, C, which means like if you get 2 pairs, 3 pairs of 2 different colors, then you'll get that points. And you can also earn points if they're the different patterns too. So like the 2 pairs of 2 patterns or 2 pairs of different colors. So it's cool. And then there's other ways that you can get extra points. Like if there's cats that show up. And if you made a pattern that this cat likes, the cat will then come onto that part of the quilt and land on your quilt, and you get extra points for that. Okay. You can pet the cats. You can actually edit the cats and make your own cats, which is cool. Like, it's cool. In super chill game, it's really just sit back and relax and just kind of play it. So I'm really like that game because it's cool. I like chill games like that.
Now that I'm back,
yes.
What game are we talking about?
Yeah, this is called Quilts and Cats of Calico. It just came out this week. So it's very fun. Another game I'm playing, we talked about that it's releasing, but we didn't talk about the game itself. The Last Epoch. You guys hear about this game? So it's a Diablo type game. Well, it's like an isometric action RPG. Reminds me very much of Diablo. But in this game, like you can really kind of like focus on what you want your skills to be. Like there's tons of the skills trees, and you can like really build out the skill trees for this game. So it's really in depth there. I think it'd be better if I played with people online, I think, or, other people. It just isn't as fun. I don't know. I think Phil, I think we talked about this with Diablo. You either play for this game for the story and the lore, or you don't. And I feel like I'm not really getting into the lore, so I feel like, what am I really doing? I don't know what I'm doing. So I don't know. I feel lost in the lore, and I feel like I want to learn more about the lore, and it seems to be really heavy. This godlike, creatures are attacking, and you have to protect it. And I'm like, okay, what am I doing exactly? Why me? But it's cool. I mean, it's a cool action RPG. I wish I had more people to play with. But Cecily's Epoch. There's a couple games I'm playing that I can't talk about yet. So I'll wait for those. I mentioned how I played some Mario Kart with my daughter. That was really fun. And the last game I'll mention here is a game called Looking Up, I See Only a Ceiling. So it's a game I reviewed, and I played it on the Switch, but it's also on. Yes, Mike.
Where can I go to see this review that you wrote, Roger?
Yeah, it's on our website, Mike, at gamerheadspodcast.com. Yes, Mike.
I was going to say, what is the address of that website, Roger?
Oh, okay. It's gamerheadspodcast.com, Mike. Yeah, yes, Mike.
What was that website again? I forgot.
Gamerheadspodcast.com.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, if I wanted to donate my car, do you know where I would donate my car?
You can go to gamerheadspodcast.com and send an email.
Don't go there to donate your car. That's the worst place to go to. So anyway, Looking Up, I Only See a Ceiling. So it's a point-and-click adventure game. And it's a dive into the human psyche around stress. So the protagonist in this game, she is studying for an exam, and all of a sudden she leaves her room and leaves her bedroom and to get something to eat, and her house is all arranged weird. There's weird things that she's never experienced before. She's like, what is this? And some weird person shows up, and there's calendars with dates circled on them and stuff like that. So the one thing I will say, I liked the premise. I liked the idea behind this whole diving into the human psyche and exploring that and exploring stress and how that might play into somebody's mind, right? What they might see because of stress. But point and click adventures, the good ones are supposed to be you problem solve. Hey, you need to get item A. To get item A, you might have to go get item B and item C and combine those together, and then all of a sudden you get the key that will get you allowed to get item A.
Right.
There was none of that in this. It was just you just clicked around and I can't do anything with that right now. Can't do anything with that right now. Can't do. Oh, yep, that's the one thing I can do. Great, you got it. Now you move on. And the ending, there's 3 different endings, and I got the good ending by mistake. And the only reason I got the good ending is I found an item that the character said, this could be useful. And then sure enough, it was. And I got the good ending. But there was nothing that hinted that, hey, maybe I need this tool because I might need it, right? Right. It was just pure luck. It was just pure luck because I was just walking around. And I was like, oh, I clicked on that. Yeah, I might need that. Okay. You might. I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. And then, yeah, I won. And I was like, I didn't feel like it did anything. I didn't feel like I didn't feel like I actually beat the game.
You just a bunch of stuff happened, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I like the premise. I like the story. The story was cool. I thought it was a neat concept of digging into how can stress affect somebody. But I just wish the execution was a little bit more, I guess. So I gave it a C on the site. So you can read that at gamerheadspodcast.com. Yeah. Nice. I mean, it wasn't like I said, it wasn't terrible. It just point and click adventure games. I think of King's Quest 7. I think of Day of the Tentacle. Those are the games that kind of stand out as
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
That's Indiana Jones or Infernal Machine or the Fate of Atlantis. Those games. Oh my God. Fate of Atlantis is so good. Yeah. So give it a C. And those are the games that I can talk about. Yes, Mike or Phil.
That's me. I have an update
hi.
after my computer crashed. As I was attempting
back,
to look up the Balatro delisting, it's
That's
only in Europe, dude.
Oh, okay. Well, still, that's weird though.
Europeans don't gamble. That's why all those high stakes casinos are over there.
Oh. But okay, here's a question. Maybe because of the fact that it was rated 3 years old, and then because it got to 18, it got delisted. I would say that Pocket Card Jockey came all around the same time, and that deals with horse racing, which deals with gambling.
No, man, that's all about solitaire. Solitaire is only gambling with yourself.
Okay.
But they do say
horse racing had nothing to do with that. With
that's not the important part. Horse racing is not gambling.
Okay.
As somebody who goes to the horse track quite often can tell you. But they're saying it should be relisted by March 9th once they change the rating on it, is what it's all about. So they're just changing the rating, then it'll be back up.
Okay.
I can't believe my Anchor crashed my computer.
Silly.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, that was crazy. I didn't mean to get you that upset. But 500,000 copies, that's a lot of copies.
Super
and over $1 million was made, so that was cool.
Good for them.
Good. And the thing is, nobody really knows who this developer is. They don't know this person's name. It's so cool. Like, it's a cool story. And they don't probably have to make a sequel to anything or follow-up game of anything, because why?
Well, I was thinking about that too, and I was like, well, I wonder if they're going to do some DLC for it. And then I was like, what the hell are you going to do for DLC? Like, add different decks with different caveats attached to them?
Heck, they can even do licensed decks too.
Oh, it's true.
I love a good licensed deck.
More jokers. I don't know. Anyway, all right, Mike, what are you playing this week?
So I'll go with the first one. I'll do is a game that I also did a review for, although I can't remember where I can find the review if I wanted to.
You don't know what
it.
you don't know the website?
I'm not aware. I've totally forgot.
Is it Gamerheadspodcast.com?
Oh yeah,
for kids.
I knew you were going with that with the car, but I was trying to avoid it.
I said sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. So I played a game, and in the review is on the GamerHeadsPodcast.com, Cars for Kids, and it's called Berserk Boy. And if you're thinking it sounds a lot like Mega Man, well, you know what? You're right, because it was definitely an inspiration for Berserk Boy. So Berserk Boy, it's a lot faster paced than a regular Mega Man game, like a lot faster paced. It's closer to a Mega Man X game, and I'd say it's even faster paced than that. Plus, there's not a whole lot of shooting in it. It's mostly melee. So like dash attacks and other things. But it's got that 16-bit style. It's got an amazing soundtrack. It's got you need to chain attacks together to even make it across bottomless pits. You know what I mean? Attack this enemy with this attack, and then as you bounce off of that, change your suit to a different suit, like in Mega Man, and use that attack to attack the next enemy, which will propel you to the end of the pit. So it's there's a lot of reaction. You're not really thinking, you're just doing in a lot of this stuff. It's challenging. It definitely is challenging, but I'll call this out. The developers did an amazing job of making it accessible. They had a no death mode where you don't take any damage at all. They also have infinite lives mode where you just start at the last checkpoint and you just keep going. But then for the more hardcore people, they've got 3 lives, just old school mode. I can totally, if it's not in there, I don't think it's in there, but I could totally see them adding a speedrun mode, which has
cool.
a timer. But no, I know I'm saying I can see that happening.
That'd be cool if they could do that.
Yeah, controls are spot on. The characters are interesting. It's got some voice acting in it.
Really?
Animations are beautiful. It's an all-around amazing game. So I gave it an A in my review.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's awesome. It's doing. I will say this is very nerdy of me, but I picked that game up on the Fantasy Critic League that I'm playing in, and
Roger, that's gambling.
Phil, that's true. Phil, I'm in first place in that league, so you can shake your head all you like.
I'm stretching my neck. Why do you keep accusing me of doing things that I'm not doing? I get these neck kinks, dude. I get all cramped up. Like, I stand on my feet all day, and now I'm all hunched over, trying to get close to the microphone to hear better.
I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited to play that game myself, so that's really cool. Nice.
Good.
Yes, Phil.
Mike, I just want to say my love for you is like a truck, Berserk Boy.
Would you like to? You know what? Never mind. Yeah, I know where you're going.
Okay.
It's
okay.
We'll talk about it later.
I'm glad you knew where I was going with that.
I knew. I know that. I was picking up what you were putting down.
Yeah.
Olaf. Okay. The other game I was playing, the Tomb Raider trilogy. So I'm still into that. And Phil, I was just looking, in case you're interested in punishing yourself. Tomb Raider trilogy has 269 achievements.
Sweet Jesus! How small are all the achievements? Is it 1,000 per game?
I think it's 1,000 per game.
That makes sense.
Like some the worth are some are 10, 15, but they're so interesting. Like I'm just looking right now. Tomb Raider 3, don't get bitten by any snakes. That's an achievement. Let's see. What else? Prevent the monks from being killed. Break an ice wall with your back and survive. So like there's like some of these achievements are so like particular, and I love that. I love when they do that with achievements or trophies where it's like you have to do something like out of the ordinary or wacky or something like that, not just beat the game or collect the weapons or so there's a lot of cool secret achievements. Obviously it's got the regular ones, whatever beat the levels and beat the boss and stuff like that, but there's a lot of really fun achievements to do when you're playing.
What I like about those fun achievements too, and what I like about what Game Pass, Jesus man, what Xbox has done is now they attach like a percentage rate to things, and a lot of those unique achievements are the rare achievements, just because nobody wants to put the time into attempting to do it.
Yeah,
and so it's fun.
You're the first person. Or you're the first one to play the game, and they get that achievement like that. Like dying 100 times in Quamp.
That happened to me with the AAA title a couple of years ago that I was the first one to pop a whole bunch of achievements on it, and I felt really special for about 10 days, and then everybody else got the game, and I was like, damn it.
I didn't feel special about that dying 100 times. I'm going to tell you that right now.
But that sound of when you get that diamond achievement just sounds so, that's so
it's
choice.
A nice noise. Excellent usage of choice. Mike, your vocabulary is on point tonight.
Why, thank you. me talk good. So like I said, since I'm all in on Tomb Raider, all of a sudden again, like just like loving every minute of it, I thought I would bust out my old original Tomb Raider PlayStation game, and I took out the instruction manual. And I thought I would just give everybody a little bit. See, this is why we need physical media. And this is why it's so sad that we don't have instruction manuals anymore, because this is some really good reading. So when you think Lara Croft's backstory, like what do you think? Like what are you like? What is like the general consensus? Like what is she? Like
she had rich parents and she inherited all this money.
Yep.
And she's a treasure hunter, right?
Okay. So that's pretty much what we all say. So I'm going to read the introduction that tells you all about this. So I don't know, Roger, in post, if you want to like put the original Tomb Raider theme on here, totally up to you. You don't have to, but
okay.
So and this, I found this so fascinating as I was reading this. Like this is stuff I didn't even know.
Yes, that's the Zelda song.
See, I don't have to. Phil's playing it for me.
I was doing the Zelda song, man.
Okay, here we go. Lara, you don't mind if I read this, do you?
No, this is cool.
So let's see. Lara Croft, daughter of Lord Henshingley Croft, was raised to be an aristocrat from birth. After attending finishing school at the age of 21, Lara's marriage into wealth had seemed assured. But on her way home from a skiing trip, her charter plane had crashed deep in the heart of the Himalayas. The only survivor, Lara learned to depend on her wits to stay alive in hostile conditions in a world away from her sheltered upbringing. 2 weeks later, when she walked into the village of Takakasberry, Her experiences had had a profound effect on her.
Excuse you.
Thank you. Unable to stand the claustrophobic, suffocating atmosphere of upper-class British society, she realized that she was only truly alive when she was traveling alone. Over the following 8 years, she acquired an intimate knowledge of ancient civilizations across the globe. Her family, soon disowned their prodigal daughter, and she turned to writing to fund her trips.
What?
Framed for
I didn't know that about her.
Yeah, framed for discovering several ancient sites of profound archaeological interest, she made a name for herself by publishing travel books and detailed journals of her exploits.
Oh my gosh. That sounds really cool. I did not know that.
This is why we still need instruction manuals.
No kidding.
This shows the kind of effort and thought that developers would put into their games.
Yeah.
So
some backstory.
I
like
read this.
seriously, when you read that, I was thinking about the remakes too. Like, think about what remakes are more of like her rise to the being the Tomb Raider, right? Like being that vulnerable person, like because by the time that you start playing the Tomb Raiders that we grew up with, like she's pretty like badass, right?
Oh yeah, But like I said, I just like fascinating. Like I didn't even know this.
Yeah,
and that's one of the things I wish that the Tomb Raider trilogy had was like scans of these things.
Yo, that'd be cool. Right. That'd be cool. Yeah.
Whatever it is, what it is. But like I said, I found that very fascinating stuff. I didn't even know about the character. So I thought I would share.
So I kind of have a thought on that. Roger, you can go ahead if you want to.
Oh, I was just gonna say no. You go ahead first, Phil, and then I'll ask my question. You go ahead first, Phil.
I almost wonder if a lot of the times in the instruction books they did that kind of thing, and I'm not trying to like poo-poo on instruction books or the state of video games at the time, but because they didn't have the technological ability to tell that kind of a backstory, like in a 10-minute cutscene beforehand.
Of course, yeah.
Which
that's what you got to world build.
Yeah, it also makes it a lot more interactive. Like for those of us that grew up reading the back of shampoo bottles while we were taking care of our business or taking instruction books into the bathroom, you learn such things.
This was for the generation of us who grew up reading the backs of cereal boxes.
Yeah,
that's right.
But no, I mean, it's I agree with you 100%, Phil.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So a little bit of nuggets of knowledge from your old buddy Mike. Send your love mail to Pez Guy Mike on Twitter.
That's right. Change that hate mail to love mail.
Yep.
You reviewed this game too for Gamerheads on the website gamerheadspodcast.com.
I sure did review it for the website gamerheadspodcast.com, and you can read that review on gamerheadspodcast.com.
I did read the review at gamerheadspodcast.com.
I forgot. What did you give it?
I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. I think I may have given it either an A or a B+. I don't know. You got your. Okay. I've reviewed. I'm working on other games since then.
And that's my thing too. I'm like, what did I give that game? I forgot. Like, because I'm working on a new game. I'll just pull it up real quick.
I got to pull it up too, and I just love the little blurb, lovingly crafted.
Yeah, I did like that title. That was a good title.
Gave it a B+.
Yeah, B+.
Yep.
B+. Very cool. Yeah. I read your review. I forgot what you gave it, but nice review, by the way.
B+. Thank you.
You are a good writer, sir. I just want to say.
I don't like compliments, so I'll just okay. Thank you.
Okay. And Phil, I mean, did we talk about you reviewed Balatro?
Is this how we're pronouncing it now?
Sure, I don't know. Did we talk about what grade you gave it? Because you reviewed that game. Also, I liked your review too.
Sure you did.
I did.
I'm just window dressing at this point. Window dressing, Roger.
What was your final score on that one? I don't remember.
Dude, I don't know. That was 2 weeks ago. I think it was an A or an A+.
You gave an A+. You gave an A+.
Which is why I got so angry my computer crashed.
Well, so I knew you gave it an A+, because we talked about it, and I was like, Phil, I would give this game an A+, and you're like, I'm giving it an A+, and yeah, so very cool. All right, well then I guess that wraps up the show. Before we head out, we can tell people how they can find us on social media. They can send us their love or hate mail, or both, I guess. Mike, how can people find you on social media?
You can send me emotionless mail at Pez Guy Mike on Twitter.
Phil, how can people find you on social media?
I will take all of your goth mail at BNow23 on Twitter.
And you can find me on Twitter at NintendoRaj. You can also find Gamerheads at Gamerheads Pod on Twitter. We're also on Blue Sky as well, Gamerheads Podcast. You can go on our website at gamerheadspodcast.com. The other thing I'm going to highlight here, too, if you're listening to this podcast, you might actually be listening to this on YouTube, but we have a YouTube channel. And you can check out this episode and all the episodes on YouTube. And what's fun, I also stream on Tuesdays, and that also gets up to posted to YouTube
shit,
as
dude!
well.
I barely even remember joining that stream the other night, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, you did though. You joined it.
Yeah, man.
It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I played Balatro, whatever we pronounce it. But yeah, that's youtube.com/gamerheads. Might be Gamerheads Podcast, but you can find us there too. I don't remember. Well, Mike, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Thanks for having me.
Phil, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Always.
And listeners, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to give us a listen. If you like what you hear, please leave us a review. We want to hear what you have to say about the show, and it helps us grow as well. Until next week, everybody, stay safe and game on. See ya.
So long.
Berserker.